Hello, everybody. It's meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you on this Wednesday afternoon. We're going to talk about our risk of thunderstorms and why Hutch's elbow is cracking over a chance for some potentially potent storms in the Dakotas on Sunday and in Minnesota on Monday. Your forecast facts are coming up right now. But first, my fine sponsors at Robert Gibbons Sons want you to know from furnace installations to air conditioning repairs, they can cover all your HVAC needs. They handle everything from new installations, replacements, and repairs to routine maintenance and system tune-ups. Please give them a call today and let them know that Hutch sent you. All right, it's a cool day out there. We have passing clouds through the Fargo area, 50s for Grand Forks and Fargo, and lower 50s at that. And it's still breezy with gusts over 20 miles per hour right now. Hi, everybody. If you have a comment, if you have a question, that's what makes Hutch's weather unique. Drop a comment in the broadcast below, whether you're watching on my YouTube channel live right now, or if you're watching on my Facebook stream, or from hutchesweather.com. Let me know where you're watching. I like to see that information as well. Okay, as we're taking a look at our forecast, we do have some things to talk about. And it begins with this cool weather that will be with us for the next 24 hours or so. So I'm going to quickly go over the forecast, and then the meat and potatoes of this update is going to focus on why Hutch thinks there is a chance of some severe storms in the outset or a long-range forecast as we go through the weekend. All right, let's start with a look at what we have going on for tonight. Overnight low temperatures will be down in the 30s, but not too low. So we're talking mid-30s to around 40 degrees in the valley. Coldest weather out to the west. So if you're in Langdon, if you're in Rock Lake, if you are out in the Bottineau area and all towards Minot and Williston, temperatures near 30 degrees there, below freezing. A few spots may sneak into frosty territory here in the valley where you see the blues. That does include parts of Lakes Country and Becker County. Keep that in mind. Then afternoon tomorrow looks to be pretty good. Look at these winds. Still a northerly component, but much lighter. Nobody terribly warm. All of the cool green you see here across South Dakota caused by clouds and rain. That's our next chance of rain coming for the day as we go through your Thursday. More on that in a second. 7-day planner. Let's talk about this. Scattered showers on Thursday, mainly south. I think even south of Fargo with appreciable rainfall, and maybe even into South Dakota for the more appreciable rainfall. In southern Minnesota, you too will be included. Mighty spiffy on Friday as we're cracking that 60-degree knot once again. Sounds good to me. 64 degrees on Saturday. It looks breezy. South winds really warming us up. An isolated thunder shower out to the west looks to be a possibility. But Sunday. Afternoon storms develop out west. They'll make their way towards our region, and they could be strong to severe for a few, I do believe. I'll talk about why here in just 1 minute. Then after that, strong storms will exit mainly into Minnesota, kind of redevelop as we go into the afternoon as possibly severe once again. Storm Prediction Center all over this one, 71 degrees in the FM area. Then on Tuesday and into Wednesday, temperatures look to be pretty swell indeed, near 60 to 65 degrees, although it looks a little windier and cooler on that Tuesday forecast. Let's take a look at a couple of things that I want to point out here with regards to the forecast. Number one, let's look at the European model and take a look at our region. So I'll zoom this into our neck of the woods here. And what I want to point out is this risk for the potential for a thunderstorm to be strong and why Hutch is targeting that right now. And you may not be hearing that from absolutely everybody, but let's go through it. There's your Thursday showers and storms, by the way, mainly making their way through ports of Watertown, Brookings, and points south towards Sioux City, Iowa. Those storms could become strong to severe in the afternoon on Thursday as they cross into Iowa once again. They've had a pretty active weather pattern. Judy, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you chiming in there on my Facebook page. And if you have friends that don't know about Hutch, I really appreciate you all taking the time to share with friends by saying @ and then tag a friend's name in here. So maybe they can catch one of Hutch's forecasts. Thanks to all of you who have been doing that for the last months. Now, as we go through, those showers exit. High pressure moves in. It looks delightful. The red lines means temperatures warm up. South winds increase, and this is Saturday. Spotty showers and thunderstorms rumbling through. Nothing too strong or potent the way it looks right now. But this low pressure system develops as we go into the day on Sunday. Showers and thunderstorms that form here are along what's called a warm front. Anything along a warm front is kind of interesting because we have winds at the surface that will be southerly or southeasterly. And we have winds that are up above us that will be coming from an opposite direction. In fact, they may be even streaming down from the west or southwest. With that in mind, warm fronts can present areas where we get some spin in the atmosphere introduced. That said, Hutch says, not widespread tornadoes, but Hutch says that in this warm front zone, we could have a stout thunderstorm developing on our Sunday afternoon. Here's noon, here's afternoon. What develops here will have the best chance at seeing some of those stronger thunder showers and storms. Look at them make their way through. This is going to be 1 a.m. overnight. So we would still see these in an area of spin, but overnight our energy in the atmosphere is usually a little lower because the sun's gone down. However, there's a big low pressure system, a storm that will continue to allow these storms to fester and fizzle as we go through the night. So the strongest will be, say, between 4 p.m. in the afternoon and, say, just after midnight. Then they move into Minnesota. Now, these are not the severe threat for Minnesota on Monday. Check out what happens. More heating takes place. These storms fizzle out. That heating will re-energize the atmosphere, and boom, we'll have another shot at some stout thunderstorm activity from central Minnesota and into eastern Minnesota. So let's recap. As we go through your Sunday, it does appear that there will be a chance, in my opinion, in our region. I cannot tell you exactly where that warm front will situate itself, but we could have a few potent thunderstorms. And as it and I become more in focus, I will keep you up to date with that. One thing to keep in mind with these thunderstorms is appreciable amounts of rainfall will be in the forecast as we go into next week. So passing showers and storms Saturday, Sunday, and again on Monday, particularly in that Minnesota region, will lead to that probability of seeing some areas picking up some significant rainfall. With that in mind, this is one model's rendition of rainfall. I'm not going to go into detail about these digits here, but generally over an inch will be possible for many locations that get the thunderstorms to track through their area, and that's beneficial rain. Now, if we get areas that get multiple storms passing through the area, like this European model says will happen in southeast North Dakota to west central Minnesota. This would include you in Lakes Country, Becker, Otter Tail County, Clay County, maybe even Mahnomen, Norman County, all the way up into Clearwater. And, well, there it is. There's the Bemidji area as well for Beltrami County. So this area here may see repeat performances. It's way too early to tell where the track of individual thunderstorms will go. So let's just say this. Hutch believes we'll have locally heavy rain from a few rounds of thunderstorms. If those thunderstorms go over your area more than one day, you could have some real significant rainfall over a couple of inches. But each round will bring us a probability of 1 to 2 inches of rain here and there, but not everywhere. Just depends on where these storms roam. So that is a look at that. One more review of that 7-day planner, and then we'll get off to business for the evening. 57 degrees tomorrow, chance of rain showers making their way through. Let me see if I can pull up a model here that shows us the rainfall potential for the area for tomorrow as we go through Thursday's rainfall. First of all, there are many models that are still not in agreement with regards to exactly where the track of the rain will be. I think the best chance for heavier rain will be in our southeast North Dakota counties into the southern half of Minnesota. That does include southern portions of Lakes Country, though. So as we take a look at this particular model, let me see if it's changed its song and dance since earlier today. Again, here it goes. Keeping most of the heavier rain showers to the south into South Dakota and southern Minnesota. We will have a chance of rain as we cross into the evening hours passing through the valley. And this model says, yep, Fargo stands a chance. I don't like that model. I just don't. I think it's too far north. When I've been looking at the European model over the last couple of days, it has kept most of that activity to our south. So let's take a look at another forecast model here and see if it agrees more with what Hutch's line of thinking is. And yes, it does. So here it's keeping most of the rainfall potential to the south, maybe even some snow in the Black Hills as we go through the midday hours for tomorrow. So how much rain are we talking about here with regards to this system as it works its way through by the time we're all said and done? Along the path of the showers, we'll have a few hundredths to about a third of an inch of rain for some of you. Under the real heavy stuff down in southern Minnesota, we could see over an inch of rainfall. Rex, good to see you. Hi, just got on. What are the risks of severe and what are we expecting in northern Wisconsin? Rex, thank you for asking, and I did review that, but I will go over it again. They're saying possible severe weather in northern Wisconsin. I would agree with that. The best chance will be on Monday. So I will pass over that one more time if you bear with me while I'm answering some other questions here as we get along. Rita, thanks for watching. watching in Fargo instead of Bemidji. I don't care, Rito, where you're watching from. It's just great to have you a part of Hutch's weather. All right, you welcome, Rex. Let's get to it. So rainfall tomorrow, a few hundredths to about a third of an inch of rain in our southern counties looks to be where the best chance of rain is, in Hutch's opinion. That's what I'm calling for. Okay, now back to the severe weather risk. As we take a look at, whoa, we got tornado warnings in Kansas right now. It just popped up. So ding, 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 a little bonus coverage here for those of you asking. Let's go scoot over a little bit on this particular map and let's look at Wisconsin. Okay, and I do want to point out that the models are not all in agreement on this. So I am going to go to the European model because once we get out about beyond 3 or 4 days, I like that model a whole lot better than some of the other ones. So oopsies, I think I pushed on the wrong button here. So bear with me while I load this puppy up here. Let's go back here. Let's go here. Let's go here. I'm going to zoom in to a region that we like for Wisconsin so I can answer good old Rex's question here. And thanks for your patience, Rex, with me getting that information out. Now, see if I can move this map down just a pinch here so we can see northern Wisconsin where you say you are. Shazam! There we go. See, Hutch makes adjustments to answer questions for you. Now, let's take a look at this particular model's forecast as we go into, this one won't go far enough into the weekend, so let's jump over to the European model. Okay, so as we go through Friday, we will see some scattered showers of rain, and then most of the heavy stuff moves down towards Chicago, Fort Wayne, and out on into parts of Indiana. Now, as we go through, here we go. Moving into Sunday. Sunday, storms will be present in North Dakota. Then on Sunday night, they move into Minnesota and Wisconsin. So Sunday night storms into Monday morning, we could have some thunder showers in your area. Will they be severe? At this time of the day, in the very early morning hours, it's not likely, but we do have a warm front moving through. And warm fronts, as I was describing earlier, have a south wind at the surface, but aloft, we can have winds that will generally be from the southwest. And when we have southwest winds aloft, well, these warm fronts can have some turning along them that cause surface winds to be a little bit more northerly. That's winds doing this in the atmosphere from the surface to above. And the more of that we have going on, the more rolling we can get in the atmosphere. You get a thunderstorm that forms, and that thunderstorm causes that rotating updraft to, say, point vertical, then we can have rotating thunderstorms. So we can't rule them out, but not widespread, certainly, on Monday morning. It will be redeveloping storms. You see this red line here? That's a warm bubble of air, warm and humid air, setting the stage for some daytime heating on Monday morning and afternoon. If that happens, the storms that fire up in the afternoon, watch this, light it up. These storms here will have a good chance of being strong to severe. Particularly on this warm front side, we could have some extra spin. On the cold front side, particularly in the far south, we could have some more spin with those particular storms. So if you look at the time frame for you, it's Monday in the afternoon and evening. Yikes, says, well, I appreciate that. I hope that helps you out. Let me go ahead and take a look at some of the severe weather parameters that are in this area if I can. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here, but let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, this is what's called shear, and when we have shear in the atmosphere, that can support those updrafts that can make big gorilla monster-sized hail. And we do have some increasing shear as we go through the weekend, and boom, here it is. So as we go through Saturday, we have some, and then again, Sunday and Monday is what we're watching for. Do you see this? It lights up like a lamp on Monday night, Minnesota and into Wisconsin. At that enhanced area of shear means that those storms that do form could become some that last a little while. They have updrafts that are supported by things going on in the upper atmosphere. Not a fan of spin, says Geronimo. Me either, but we'll keep our eyes on it. Say Cabacona. Did I do it right, Rita? Cabacona Corner? Let's see. I hope I did it right. But at any rate, I still work on my pronunciation and articulation of all our wonderful areas here in the Northern Plains. Now, let's take a look at the radar right now because, ooh, la, la, la. We have thunderstorms that have gone to Ogallala. Well, actually, point south. Look at this. We have a thunderstorm watch in the yellow counties, West Texas, and look at this, western parts of Kansas, and an active tornado warning going on right now in Oakley. Now, as I take you in just a little bit closer, the radar says that we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go into the tornado warning area. It is Radar indicated. Ping pong ball size hail. That means get the helmets out or actually get inside. You don't want to be around that storm. And even from this very grainy radar data, you see this little bite taken out of the storm there? That is called a hook echo. Hook echoes are caused by rotating updrafts, and that rotation, it acts like a centrifuge. It throws rain and hail out. So when the radar beam goes through it, all the rain and hail on the outside, and in the inside of that bite, we get a lower echo area. So that is definitely lining up. Let's see if a good old Hutch here can line up a local radar out that way that will help us see just a little bit closer into where this storm is rocking. Let's go to Goodland, Kansas and get the radar out there. Now let's take a look. This is echo top, so I don't want to look at that. I want to look at some base velocity, showing me the winds. Oh my goodness, look at that. We got red blowing away from Goodland, Kansas. There's the radar, red blowing away from Goodland, Kansas. Can you find the tornado? Right here is the Doppler indicated tornado, just off to the south and to the west of our friends in Oakley, and Monument just south of there as well. Now, very, very strong outflow here, and that can be called a rear flank downdraft. If that drops down out of the clouds and toward the ground, that can enhance some of the lift. But if it's too strong, it can cut off the lift into the storm. So a lot of interesting features going on here, but we definitely have an area of spin right here on the south side of this particular storm system. Now, how fast is it moving? The National Weather Service says it's moving. Let's go ahead and look at it here. So this particular storm is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, and ping pong ball size hail appears to be a threat as well. Now, as we take a look at that rotation in the storm right here, let's measure how far it is away from Oakley itself. So it looks like it's moving in that general direction of Oakley. Oh, let me see if I go here. Okay. Oh, it doesn't want to allow me to measure because I have the watches and warnings layer on. There we go. Now it'll let me do it. So what I'm going to have to do is turn the watches and warnings layer off, which kind of defeats the purpose. I don't like this program if it's making me do that. Okay, so let me write to the designer here. Okay, here we go. Now I can back out just a pinch. Okay, now let's see. Here's the rotation. Here's Oakley, and we're looking at a calculated speed of about 25 miles per hour. So this will be the areas in the path of the storm. Let me see. Whoopsies. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, I think that Hutch is having some troubles here with this, but if you bear with me, I will try to get an answer as to how long it will take to get into the Oakley area, because this is not cooperating with me. So let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go 25 miles per hour and say Shazam, and see if it puts up. It does put up a little population chart in the upper corner here. Oakley, it will be there in about 17 minutes. So 17 minutes from Oakley, that is a pretty tight rotation going on there. Now, let me turn off some of these tools here and go back and see. Oh, wow, we got an area here on the other side of the storm that's showing some of that inflow is quite strong and working its way in and around. So there is some evidence there of some pretty stout activity going on. Now let's see if we can find some other information about. Sometimes these radars can actually help us see where there is some debris getting lofted up. So let's see if I can see anything there. Oh, well, we got some gusty winds up here, maybe a little bit of chunkiness there. And where the rotation is, there is a lowering of this coefficient that we look for, but it doesn't, to me, sound the horn that it is indeed a big ball of debris going on out there. So at any rate, this storm is quite dangerous, moving towards Oakley. Tornado warning, that is again in parts of western Kansas heading into the evening hours. And we have thunderstorms out there that are strong to severe as well. Down in Texas, some stout thunderstorms there, but for us, it's nice and quiet here in the Northern Plains. Kathy says, thanks for updating the forecast for this weekend, plus for Monday. You're welcome, Kathy. Thank you very much. And Rita says, I'm proud of you. Cabacona. I think I might have been close on how I say it. Hey, Sean, good to have you on. I'm having a great day. I got a chance to spend some time out at Gate City Bank today and visit with a lot of my friends there about a 2-day event they have ongoing. That 2-day event will continue tomorrow, and you can find out details and a location near you at Gate City Bank and go to gatecity.bank/ 100 to find out the details on the deal that they have for you. And that was why I was out there today. Are we getting rain next week, Hutch, in Grand Forks? Okay, so the 7-day planner, as we take a look, maybe one of the best ways to look at this is to take one of them big old long range forecast models. But I'd say over the weekend and into the early week, there'll be a chance of some rain. But let me get up a model here, and I'm going to go with that European model. That's Hutch's most reliable one out that far. Here we go. And in Hutch's opinion, of course, I don't want to speak for all meteorologists out there. Okay, now let's take a look at the pattern here as we go through and into the weekend. Showers and thunderstorms, Grand Forks area seeing some as you look out here into northern Minnesota on Saturday night, not so much, but Sunday and into Monday, yes. And those storms will pass through. Then we have good old fashioned, the kind of soaking rain that a lot of us like that lasts for the better part of a day on the backside of that storm system. And look at where the cold air is. You could see some snow showers there as well. Now that system exits, and then it looks like dry high pressure keeps us in the clear of any weather through midweek, with another light system making its way through on Thursday of next week. So not huge chances, but in that chance of rainfall that we're looking at there, let me go back to my forecast here and show you the rainfall amounts that I've put together for you. This is from the European model, and this is possible for the week ahead. This doesn't mean probable, and this is not a forecast. This is going out 7 days, and a lot can change in 7 days. If you look at where the best chance of some heavier precipitation, look at these lofty yellows and oranges right in here. That's several inches of rain over the course of a week. Will the storms all track over this area? That's probably not going to happen. Now, it does have some appreciable rainfall in Grand Forks, in Crookston, and even into northwest Minnesota. But as is the case with thunderstorms, we have a lot more hit and miss chances with them puppies, because you have one side of Grand Forks getting an inch of rain and the other side of Grand Forks getting missed altogether. So we got to keep that in mind. So all I can say to you is, yes, there is a chance for some rain in your area in Grand Forks, and thanks for the question. All right, that is a look at what's going on right now. I really appreciate all of you watching. Please share with your friends. Hutch Johnson is here doing the weather for you in the Northern Plains, even into Wisconsin. If you have questions, I'll do my very goodest to answer those for you. Now, I do want to throw a huge shout out of thanks to all of you who have visited hutchesweather.com. It is my website and platform for all things weather. It would not be possible without my fine sponsors that you see here on the top line. And in spring, we all start watching them trees for green things like leaves. And if you have a tree that needs to be assessed, that you might need some trimming done on, this Slim's Tree Care is the person that you need to call to get information on what's going on with your trees. Not only is Slim someone who can take care and help with the tree trimming, he's a certified person who can basically check and assess the risk of your trees. He is specialized in climbing, which means if you need to trim a tree way up high, he's the person to make sure that those chunks of lumber don't fall where you don't want them. Call Slim today. He'll get you taken care of. Again, hutchesweather.com, anytime, anywhere. Wow, Rick, apparently the stars are working on the lives again. I don't know what's going on, but I really appreciate you sharing stars with Hutch here on Hutch's Weather. All right, now on Hutch's Weather, you got the interactive radar here. Whether you're in Wisconsin or otherwise, you can move this puppy around here and go to your liking. And you can even tilt the earth if you mess around with your buttons on your mouse a little bit. I'm right mouse clicking, and it works great on mine. So I can go all the way up into northern Wisconsin over here. There's Rhinelander, and there's also our folks up there in Eagle River and Worcester, and it looks like Rib Lake. Okay, I like ribs. Okay, let's just change the subject. There's your severe thunderstorms working their way through Kansas on the west side. More on the east side, getting ready to rock Kansas City as well with some hail, it looks like, with those pink echoes right there. Kind of fun to dance around the screen. And by the way, if you have a youngster that would like to help Hutch with weather, you can go to hutchesweather.com. Click this button here where it says Hutch's Weather Kids, and that's where you have an opportunity to sign up. And you can also sign up by heading into Luther Family Ford right here in South Fargo. Tell them Hutch sent you. Where do I sign up to be a weather kid? And they'll point you in the right direction. And this is also where you get an opportunity to check out and upload your photos of weather going on in your neck of the woods. And I appreciate all of you who have taken the time to do so. Look at all these awesome pictures, from northern lights to hail to wildlife. Anything nature, you bring it on. And bring it on and upload it to hutchesweather.com. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and I got to tell you what, there's something of a operation going on tonight in Fargo, and some would call it a mind crime. More details on that, maybe. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for following on Facebook, and thank you for subscribing.